Cocina Superior, your destination in Brookwood Village. Modern Tex-Mex at its best.
Want to be on the winning team? God wants you to share and peace with friends. Join the Dawson family of coaches, practices church for his goal. Sunday worship goes on both ends of campus at 8:25, followed by traditional services at 9:40 and 11. Bible studies begin at 8:30 and 9:30 a.m. To learn more about Dawson, just visit us online at dawsonchurch.org or stop by the church office at Family Recreation Center.
WPJC HD3 Birmingham, W256CD Fultondale, Birmingham's home for sports talk. 99.1 The Game. You're listening to Bulldog Basketball.
Back here, Pete Hanna Center, starting lineups getting introduced for the Samford Bulldogs, who debut their anthracite jerseys tonight. Dogs have worn their reds, their blues. They wore their straight whites last night, but they're going with their anthracite off-gray jerseys this evening against Nicholls State. It's anthracite shorts and tops with red trim. Samford spelled across the chest in red, outlined in blue. Numbers in blue, outlined in red. Nicholls State, meanwhile, will go with their all whites outlined in red. Nicholls State, an Adidas school, Samford, a Nike school, so we will play with the Nike basketball tonight as we conclude what has been the San Diego Classic. Both teams have played the same opponents over the last week and a half or so. The Dogs took out the San Diego Toreros to start the year at San Diego and then fell at New Mexico State 58-48 before beating Campbell and then taking out Bethune-Cookman last night 93-65. This is the last game tonight of this San Diego Classic against Nicholls State. Nicholls State, on the other hand, lost a heartbreaker at San Diego. They led that game through the second half and then gave up two big runs to the Toreros, ultimately falling 81-72. Meanwhile, at New Mexico State, Nicholls State actually took a 1-point lead into the halftime locker room, but New Mexico State outscored Nicholls State by 12 points, make it 13 points in the second half to carry the Aggies to an 86-74 win. Nicholls State finally got on the board in this San Diego Classic with a 76-69 win over Bethune-Cookman here on Friday, and a day off for the Colonels yesterday before taking on the Dogs on this Sunday night here in Birmingham, Alabama. Starting fives have hit the floor for both sides. Nicholls State in white. Powell, O'Neal, Bell, Fry, and Liam Thomas, the big man in the middle, who will jump it up for Nicholls State. The Dogs, Cunningham, Chambers, Denzel Dyson, Thompson, and Wyatt Walker, the big guy, who will jump it up for Samford, as Nicholls State has a strange look here at the opening tip. Three guys in the front court for the Colonels. As we get ready to jump this thing up in the air, we are underway from the Hanna Center. As Nicholls State controls, Liam Thomas tips it back to Trey O'Neal, and the Colonels have possession first in the front court, working right to left. No names on the back for the Colonels, just straight numbers, old school style, as O'Neal dribbles at Tristan Chambers. Dogs showing pressure on the perimeter early. O'Neal drives into Wyatt Walker, jump stop, kick out to Deontay Fry for three, and he got it. Actually, he was just inside the line. Give it two for Jadante Fry. The 6'4", 200-pound senior. Local kid from Thibodaux has Nicholls State on the board first, 2-0. Early pressure from Nicholls State. Just getting out of it is Kristen Cunningham, and now the Dogs set up their offense now with 17 seconds on the Hanna Center shot clock. Cunningham and Alex Thompson working up high for the Dogs. Denzel Dyson thought about a three, instead gets it inside to Wyatt Walker, working against the 7-footer, gives him a good spin move and puts it up and in. Good early start for the Dogs. They get a paint touch via Wyatt Walker, working against Liam Thomas inside. 2-2 early as we played a minute from the Hanna Center. Heard Sydney Ball talk in our Nike scouting report about how important it is to get Wyatt Walker involved early. High-low action, intercepted by Walker, and then turned back over as Walker tried to get it to Denzel Dyson on the other end. Jonathan Bell puts it up and in, and Nicholls State capitalizes on the turnover. So a turnover answered with a turnover. Colonels up 4-2 early. Denzel Dyson drives left side of the floor. He's hit as he puts up a jump shot. Jump shot goes off the backboard, no good, but the foul will send Denzel Dyson to the line to shoot a pair. Foul against Trey O'Neal is his first, team first. The 6'1" senior guard for Nicholls State kind of ran up under Denzel Dyson as he put up the running jump shot. Good sportsmanship there as he Taps Denzel Dyson on the shoulder, says my bad, as the transfer from UMass is at the line to shoot two. First free throw off left, no good. Denzel Dyson enters play tonight, second on the team in possessions used offensively. He scored the ball well for Samford thus far. Former three-star recruit out of Tennessee. Misses 2 free throws at the line there. First time he's done that all year. An 0-for-2 unproductive trip to the stripe for Denzel Dyson. Nicholls State rebounds, and Denzel Dyson tips it out of play. Colonels have scored the ball well. They were one of the worst scoring offenses in Southland Conference play last year. Have put up some impressive offensive numbers this year. 72 points against San Diego, 74 against New Mexico State, 76 against Bethune-Cookman. Consistently scoring it well, but they turned it over there. Demetrius Denzel Dyson jumped the passing lane. Drives at the 7-footer, then pulls it back out left corner. Thompson pump fake, now drives the lane, goes high-low with Wyatt Walker, who can't finish at the rim. And it's pulled down inside by Javon Powell, who pushes it back up for Nicholls State. Good look inside from Thompson to Walker. Walker just left it on the glass, and it rolled off the rim, no good. Cunningham, Tristan Chambers, the two up top for the Dogs as they work in this zone defense. Lob attempted from Javon Powell inside looking for Liam Thomas. Those two not on the same page, and already the third turnover for Nicholls State offensively. Nicholls State showing full court pressure, very similar to the 2-2-1 pressure we see the Dogs apply to most teams. Denzel Dyson dribbles at it and now swings it across to Tristan Chambers, who finds Thompson middle of the floor, and the Dogs have broken it now with 22 on the shot clock. 17:30 mark here inside the Hannah Center. Early on, Nicholls State 4, Samford 2. Cunningham finds Chambers, who steps into a three. He got it. Tristan Chambers shows off the three-point stroke just right of the circle, and after an 0-for-4 game last night, breaks the snide early. He's 1 for 1. Samford up 5-4. Back the other way we go. Pull up, stop and pop jumper from Jonathan Bell is no good. On the floor, Liam Thomas controls left corner. Recycles the possession for the Colonels as they pick up their first offensive board early on here. Trey O'Neal, Javon Powell, Jonathan Bell, the three guards for the Colonels, as Bell tried to find Javante Fry lurking along the baseline. Tipped out of play by Alex Thompson, so it's going to be a baseline inbounds for Nicholls State. Trey O'Neal to trigger. So far, just one foul called in our first 3 minutes and 10 seconds of action. Good guys on top by 1, 5-4 as Nicholls State works in the half court. Single-digit shot clock, 5 to shoot. Straightaway triple on the way. No good off the hands of Javon Powell. Pulled down by the Bulldogs. Denzel Dyson pushes. Tristan Thompson, good no-look pass inside to Wyatt Walker, who feeds Alex Thompson at the rim for 2. Chambers had it in the left corner. Fed Wyatt Walker at the high post, who did a nice look-off and found Alex Thompson, and we've got a whistle and a foul as the Dogs applied pressure just across the timeline. Denzel Dyson and Tristan Chambers tried to trap, and it looks like that's going to be a foul that's going to go against Tristan Chambers. That's his first. Team first, each team with one foul early as Chambers heads to the bench. Josh Sharkey makes an early appearance. Sharkey played 20 minutes last night, added 8 points and also 4 steals as Nicholls State controls in the half court. 14-footer from Javante Fry, no good. Ball loose in the paint on the floor. We've got a whistle and more than likely a jump ball. No, it's going to be out of bounds. Alex Thompson stepped on the inline as he was fighting with Liam Thomas for the rebound. It's going to be Nicholls State basketball with a fresh shot clock. So Nicholls State ball, same starting 5 on the floor for the Colonels. Sharkey replaces Tristan Chambers. Now we've got a referee conversation there. The call is going to remain the same, Nicholls State basketball, and the shot clock had been sent down to 22 seconds. Will now reset to a full 30 for this Nicholls State possession. And it's Jadante Fry along with Trey O'Neal controlling up top for Nicholls State. Fry now working off the left block against Demetrius Denzel Dyson. Goes to work into the lane, spins, puts up a fadeaway, no good. Tipped out by Thomas and rebounded once again on the offensive boards by the Colonels, who get another look at it on this possession. Third time the Colonels have cycled through their offense in this half-court set. Driving the baseline is Trey O'Neal. He finds Jadante Fry just inside the three-point arc. He got it. Fry puts up a 17-footer from the baseline to draw Nicholls State back within 1. It's 7-6 as we hit the 15:30 mark here at the Hannah Center. Next stoppage is a media timeout as Alex Thompson dribbles down the lane, kicks out. Denzel Dyson, right corner triple. It rattles home. Three-pointer is good from Denzel Dyson. Already 2 quick triples from the Dogs. Have them up 10-6. As Denzel Dyson and Tristan Chambers have connected from deep. Pressure from the Dogs. Sinks back into the half court. Liam Thomas puts it on the deck and now finds his guard, Javon Powell. A couple of Colonels waiting at the scorer's table to check in. They'll get in after our next media timeout, our first media timeout actually. Trey O'Neal controlling up top, trying to get it inside. Wyatt Walker doing a good job denying post entry. That's Javon Powell who puts up a left wing three that actually hit the glass first. No good. High up for the rebound was Denzel Dyson. He pushes the other way. Kicks out left corner for Kirsten Cunningham. We've got a whistle inside, and it's going to go as a blocking foul against Trey O'Neal as he tried to take a charge on Denzel Dyson as he was running down the lane. The foul on O'Neal is his second personal foul, team second. And we've hit our first media timeout at the 14:43 mark. Samford 10, Nicholls State 6. This is Samford Bulldog basketball.
Game day brings out the best in all of us. At Regions, every day is game day.
Impressive shooting start for the Dogs at the first media timeout. Samford 4, their first 5, including 2 of 2 from deep. As Samford leads 10-6. Just over 5 minutes in here in this battle against Nicholls State. Don't forget, Samford fans, coming up in the Hannah Center a little bit later tonight, actually about 47 minutes from now, Samford Volleyball will take over that Coca-Cola Hospitality Suite to watch the NCAA Volleyball Selection Show. Samford earning an automatic bid thanks to winning the Southern Conference title here at home about a week ago. They'll find out their destination here in a little bit. Wyatt Walker blocked inside by the 7-footer Liam Thomas as the Dogs triggered from the baseline. And it's a turnover. Nicholls State comes back the other way. Thomas already making an impact. He's got 2 offensive boards and now a block for the 7-footer. Sharkey trying to make an impact as well, and he forces the turnover. Turnover is DeAndre Harris, the senior guard who checked in for Trey O'Neal. Turns it over. Josh Sharkey got in his chest and ultimately forced the turnover just in front of us on this left side of the scorer's table. So the freshman guard from Philly making his presence known early. And it'll be Sharkey to bring it up. And Sharkey tries to find Denzel Dyson, has it tipped away as DeAndre Harris tries to give the freshman a bit of his own medicine. DeAndre Harris, the 6'3", 200-pound senior from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Hearing it from some of the Bulldog faithful behind us. He's the leading scorer for Nicholls State coming into play tonight, despite not starting any of the ball games that the Colonels have played so far. Guy who can come in and shoot it right away. Sharkey controls for the Dogs left wing, 15 to shoot. Denzel Dyson thought about a triple on the right wing. Instead, Sharkey feeds Thompson at the free throw line, 14-footer, no good. Tipped around, tipped out of bounds. It is going to be Samford basketball, according to our baseline official. Never actually pointed towards Samford. I think he yelled it. As we get a substitution, Justin Hopkins makes his first appearance for the Dogs tonight. He'll come and get Demetrius Denzel Dyson. So a pair of freshmen on the floor for the Dogs now as Sharkey tried to trigger and turned it over. Jonathan Bell tipped it away and tipped it to DeAndre Harris, who's coming the other way for Nicholls State. He dribbles out and can't shake Josh Sharkey, who's taking him all the way back out to half court. Harris finally has to get rid of it. He swings it over to Steven Repchowski, who just checked in. Sharkey still with the pressure up near half court. We've got a whistle and a foul as Sharkey finally gets called for the hand check against DeAndre Harris. Those two have been battling here for the last 10, 15 seconds or so. Now a little talking back and forth. The referee tells both of them to simmer down a little bit. Stevie Ripchowski to trigger for Nicholls State, the 6'5 junior from Lansing, Michigan on the floor now. It's he, Harris, Powell, Liam Thomas inside working against Wyatt Walker. His right hand is good. Liam Thomas, the 7-footer, with his first bucket of the night. And it's Samford 10, Nicholls State 8, 13-24 to go here. As Justin Hopkins beats the pressure with Kristen Cunningham. Cunningham controls just across the timeline for the Dogs as they try to set up the half-court offense. And we've got a whistle and a foul. That's going to be a hand check against DeAndre Harris, who had a hand in the breadbasket of Kristen Cunningham as he tried to come off the screen from Alex Thompson. A couple of substitutions for Samford. Tristan Chambers comes to get Cunningham. And also checking out of the ballgame, Wyatt Walker. He'll be lifted for the junior Eric Adams. The Hoover native gets his first action of the night. Already just under 7 minutes in, the Dogs have gone 8 or 9 deep as Alex Thompson goes high-low with Adams. Adams finishes on the left side of the rim. Great find from Thompson to feed Eric Adams. He's on the board and in the score sheet. Samford by 4, 12-8 under the 13-minute mark as Nicholls State hurries it into the front court to try to beat the Samford pressure. 3 freshmen on the floor, all in the backcourt for the Dogs, with Hopkins, Sharkey, and Chambers to go along with 2 juniors, Alex Thompson and Eric Adams. 3 on the way, and it's no good from DeAndre Harris. Pulled down by the Dogs. Sharkey back the other way, and he's turned over by Javon Powell. Powell back the other way. Alex Thompson, the trailer, the lob to Harris at the rim is slammed home. Good find there from Javon Powell as he found Harris, the trailer, for the breakaway jam. And another turnover for us. Justin Hopkins turned over in front of the Nicholls State bench. Back the other way come the Colonels. Ripkowski. Now to Powell, who swings it to DeAndre Harris. And now to Ripkowski again. Powell inside. Ripkowski in front of the Samford bench. Nicholls State guard swinging it around. Now a deep triple attempted by Javon Powell. That's so short it misses everything, and it's tipped out to Tristan Chambers. Chambers gets it back from Sharkey, steps into a deep triple right wing. It's short, but pulled down by Eric Adams. He goes up at the rim. He's blocked. Thompson got it back and uses the window to put it in. Another block shot for Nicholls State inside, but Alex Thompson was in the right place at the right time and put it up and in. Dogs back by 4, 14-10 as we're under the 12-minute mark. Ripchowski puts it on the deck and now gets it to his guard, Javon Powell. Turnaround 15-footer on the way from DeJounte Fry is up and good. Gentle roll there from Fry. He's got 4 points early to lead all Nicholls State scores. Samford 14, Nicholls State 12. The Colonels sticking with the Dogs so far as Thompson gets it at the free throw line. One dribble, 10-footer, good, rattles home. Alex Thompson finding the rhythm from the mid-range early. He's got 6 points to pace the Dogs. Samford back by 4, 16-12, 11-minute mark. Repachowski for 3 left wing. It's long, no good. Tipped around and controlled inside by the newly checked-in Adam Ward for Nicholls State. He recycles for the Colonels. Repachowski, another left wing triple off the reload. This time he got it. 3-pointer for Stevie Repachowski. The Lansing, Michigan native draws Nicholls State back within 1. Back the other way comes Samford. Alex Thompson feeds high-low. Eric Adams with the slam. Nice find from Thompson at the free throw line to Adams. Back the other way. Repachowski, left wing 3 in transition. He hit it. Back-to-back threes from Repachowski on the left wing, and a transition triple draws Nicholls State even. 18 apiece as we approach the 10-minute mark. And finally, in the half court, Samford going to set up a half-court offense with Sharkey and Alex Thompson. Tristan Chambers to Sharkey. Thompson thought about a 3, puts it on the deck, gets it to Sharkey. Sharkey drives the lane, tries to get it inside to Adams, and instead turns it over. It's saved nicely by Repachowski. And the Colonels come back the other way with a chance to take the lead here for the first time since the opening basket. Richie Riley, the head coach for Nicholls State, yelling out some instructions to DeAndre Harris and company. Harris drives around Chambers, drives the lane, feeds inside for Ward. It was tipped away by Thompson out of bounds. It's going to be Nicholls State basketball along the baseline inbounds. And
at Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers, we believe in service.
Maintenance service, tire service, repair service,
and most importantly, customer service.
We believe in treating our customers with respect and integrity while offering all the services you need for your car.
Most of all, at Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers,
We believe in keeping cars on the road, keeping families safe,
And keeping you coming back whenever the need arises.
Discovering new things is good. For example, you may discover that the best bank in town isn't a bank.
Get your debit card right then. Instant issue debit cards, available at America's First. Available to qualifying members only. Certain restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Sunday night here in Birmingham, Alabama, last day of Thanksgiving weekend, which means Samford students are back in town. Got a few behind us, heckling some of the Nicholls State guys in red and white. Also have the Samford cheerleaders, Samford dance team back in full force. Samford women's basketball also back on campus for a pair of home games, starting Wednesday night, a 6 p.m. tip against the Hornets from Alabama State, and then Saturday a noon start as the Lady Dogs battle Alabama A&M. Tickets at SamfordSports.com or the Hannah Center box office. And if you can't make it, Kurt Bloom's got all the action on FM 91.1 WVSU. As Nicholls State tries to inbound off the timeout, we've got a whistle and a foul. That's going to go against James Boone, who just checked in for the Dogs. And it's a different-looking 5 on the floor for Samford out of the timeout. Kristen Cunningham, James Boone, Demetrius Denzel Dyson, Alex Peters, and Alex Thompson, the 5 on the floor for the guys in gray and red. Dogs wearing their gray jerseys at home tonight. That's a 3 from Lafayette Rutledge, who just checked in for Nicholls State off the right wing. It was no good, but it was a long board all the way back out to DeAndre Harris as Nicholls State collects their 5th offensive rebound so far in the first 10 minutes. Colonels work the offense. That's Harris from the right wing, and he got it. Make that Jadante Fry, who was working the right baseline. And for the first time since 2-0, Nicholls State has the lead. Actually make it 4-2. Nicholls State led at one point. Nicholls State back on top, 20-18 as we work under the 9-minute mark here. Kristen Cunningham thought about driving the lane, now does so, and kicks it back out to Denzel Dyson, who dribbles across, finds Thompson at the free throw line. His 14-footer is short, rebounded by Repachowski. Repachowski working hard on both ends of the floor. He's got a pair of triple makes for Nicholls State, and finds himself working hard on the defensive end as well. He's running the baseline right now. DeAndre Harris puts it on the deck. His floater over Alex Thompson is no good, and we've got an offensive foul. Harris drove down the lane, and you got to be careful when Alex Peters is in the ball game. If you attack the rim, know that Peters is going to be in the right spot at the right time. That time just outside the restricted area arc. He took the contact right in the chest and drew the foul on Harris. That's his second personal foul, as the leading scorer off the bench for Nicholls State is forced to check out here. A pair of Nicholls State Colonels in foul trouble now between O'Neal and Harris, as Nicholls State picks up full court pressure. Cunningham, Hopkins drives the lane right side, finds a cutting Demetrius Denzel Dyson for 2. Good look from the freshman Justin Hopkins. That's his first assist of the night. 20-20 now as we approach the 8-minute mark here in the Hannah Center. Javon Powell working against the freshman James Boone from Murray, Kentucky. It's Powell and Jadante Fry along with Repachowski on the perimeter. Driving is Fry from the left baseline. Tries to finish with the right hand. Rattles around. No good. Jumping up in the air to secure the board is Justin Hopkins. Kristen Cunningham back the other way. Puts it on the deck with his left. Feeds Boone, who thought about a 3. Instead, he gets it to Hopkins, who goes high-low with Peters. Peters at the rim was fouled. The foul was going to go against number 40, Stevie Repachowski. That's his first, team's 5th personal foul. And Alex Peters is going to the line for 2 as we've got a little chippiness over beside the Nicholls State bench. The referee did not take kindly to something a Nicholls State Colonel said over there. But the Colonels retreat to their bench, and we've hit the under 8 media timeout, tied at 20s between Nicholls State and Samford. 7:37 mark. This is Samford Bulldog basketball.
This is Lauren.
These are her first roommates, her first car, and her very first health insurance plan, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. Even at her age, she's not taking her health for granted. Her affordable health plan includes a routine annual checkup, apps, and programs that fit her lifestyle. Lauren may be just starting out, but with us, she's already got peace of mind. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. We cover what matters. Find out how we can cover you for the first time.
Back here courtside, Pete Hanna Center on FM 99.1 The Game here in Birmingham and on YouTube Live, courtesy of the Samford Sports Network. Also on Twitter, at Samford Hoops FOE. Sam Chandler here to my left running the Samford Hoops Twitter account, giving some intermittent updates throughout the evening. That is at Samford Hoops FOE. I'm at _ Blake Gardner, as we all have our social media up here along with our live stats and all of our prep here along press row. First free throw up for Alex Peters. That's short. No good. Peters got his first extended action of the year last night against Bethune-Cookman. Played 11 minutes, scored 3 points, made his presence known on the defensive end, had 4 personal fouls. Also drew a bunch of charges, has already drawn 1 tonight. That's the second free throw. Gets a kind roll, and Peters splits the pair at the line to give the Dogs a 21-20 lead. As we come out of the media timeout, 7:37 mark. Peters has lifted for Wyatt Walker. And so it's Walker, Cunningham, Boone Hopkins, and Denzel Dyson, the 5 on the floor for Samford. Javon Powell, Lafayette Rutledge in the backcourt for the Colonels, spinning down the lane and driving a floater, no good from Jonathan Bell. Boone with the rebound. He pushes the other way for the Dogs, almost lost it out of bounds, just got it back. And now controls before finding Kristen Cunningham on the left side of the floor. Cunningham back to Boone, swings it to Denzel Dyson, who's open from the right wing for 3. No good, it was off right. Chased down on the left corner by Lafayette Rutledge. Rutledge pushes it up ahead to Bell. Bell drives down the lane, bowls over a defender, but it's going to go as a block along the baseline against the freshman Justin Hopkins. Hopkins is called for his first personal foul, team's 4th. And Jonathan Bell's going to go to the line and shoot 2. Bell, the 6'2 senior from Los Angeles, California, at the line for the first time tonight. His first free throw is up and good. I believe this is actually Nicholls State's first trip to the free throw line. Bell played 28 minutes, scored 13 points against Bethune-Cookman on Friday. He's got 3 points right now, counting that made free throw, and make it 4 as he sinks both. Nicholls State back up on top, 22-21 at the 7-minute mark here in the Hanna Center. Nicholls State doing a good job defensively. Has forced 5 Samford turnovers. Samford's defense has forced 5 Nicholls State turnovers. Hasn't been the cleanest start to the ball game that Samford had kind of hoped for. Cunningham works off screen and roll, drives, right-handed floater, no good, off the back rim, pulled down by Javon Powell. He looks to push, gets it up ahead to Bell. Bell jump stops, tries to finish around Denzel Dyson at the rim, no good, but the offensive rebound does go from Javonte Fry. Javonte Fry now has 10 points for Nicholls State as they lead by 3, and James Boone's turned over around the timeline. Javon Powell back the other way. He's got a 3-on-1, feeds Bell at the rim, who scores. Nicholls State up 26-21, and that is going to draw a timeout from Samford head coach Scott Padgett. It's a quick 6-0 tear in the last 45 seconds from Nicholls State. That draws a 30-second timeout from the Bulldog bench, and Samford's just been sloppy with the basketball. Nicholls State has turned the Dogs over 6 times and scored 10 points off those 6 turnovers, and have outscored the Dogs on the break 7-2 early. Javonte Fry with 10 points leads all scorers for Nicholls State. He, along with Jonathan Bell, who has 6, and Stevie Repachowski, who's got 6 as well, have paced the Nicholls State attack, but Samford so far shooting the ball well, 9 of 17, 53% from the field. They're 2 of 4 from deep. But Nicholls State winning the battle in the turnover margin and also winning the battle on the glass, including 6 offensive boards for Nicholls State that have given Nicholls State 6 extra shots. They've gotten 6 more looks at the rim so far than Samford. They're 11 of 23 from the field. Samford 9 of 17 as we come out of the timeout. Boone replaced by Josh Sharkey, who dribbles across the timeline and gets it to Denzel Dyson. Dogs can set up something in the half court here. 4 of the 5 starters on the floor. Sharkey for Chambers is the one change in the starting 5. Denzel Dyson up top, gets it to Sharkey. Sharkey tries to drive, now kicks to Denzel Dyson, who puts it on the floor with his right. 10-footer blocked by Jadante Fry, who has been all over the floor for Nicholls State in the first 14 minutes. Back the other way comes Javon Powell. He's got Bell and Lafayette Rutledge, the 3 guards with him. Jadante Fry is the 4-man. He drives at Alex Thompson. Right-hand finish at the rim is good. Jadante Fry is making his presence known in this game. He's got 12 points as we've got a whistle and a foul in the backcourt against Nicholls State. A foul is going to go against Javon Powell. That's his first, team 6. So the Dogs are shooting free throws the rest of the way here over the remaining 5:29 in the half. But the Dogs' offense has been stymied by this pressure defense from Nicholls State. They're picking up in the full court, much like Samford does. It's an 8-0 run for Nicholls State. Dogs have gone over 3 minutes now without scoring. Denzel Dyson set up by Kristen Cunningham for 3. Demetrius Denzel Dyson with his second triple of the night. Off the feed from Kristen Cunningham, draws the Dogs back within 4, 28-24. Jonathan Bell drives baseline. Before that, we've got a whistle and a travel. Bell turns it over. He pumps Wyatt Walker, trying to get to the rim, didn't put it on the floor first. Said the far side referee. That's the 6th turnover for Nicholls State. And the Dogs will inbound along the baseline with Denzel Dyson working against this 2-2-1 pressure shown by the Nicholls State Colonels. Cunningham working in the backcourt. He along with Sharkey. Denzel Dyson flashes middle and Sharkey slings it long to Alex Thompson across the court. Sharkey gets it back and finds Denzel Dyson right wing. Dogs set up the offense in the half court. Cunningham feeds Sharkey, who gets a screen from Walker. Cunningham now drives with his right against Bell. Fade away from 10 feet. No good off the rim. Rebounded inside by Walker, who goes up strong. A lot of contact, no foul. Pulled down inside by Jonathan Bell. Bell gets it back on the break. Feeds Lafayette Rutledge. And Rutledge pulls it back out and finds Javon Powell, the point guard, as Nicholls State looks to get into a set here offensively. It's Stevie Repachowski here on the left side, along with Javon Powell just right of the circle. 10 to shoot now for Nicholls State. Liam Thomas flashes high, swings it to Repachowski, who puts it on the floor, and he stepped out of bounds. He tried to drive the left baseline, but his heel just hit the left sideline. Back-to-back turnovers for Nicholls State. They've got 7 of those now. See if the Dogs can capitalize here, cut into this 4-point deficit as the Colonels lead early, 28-24, as we hit the 4-minute mark here in Birmingham. Cunningham controls in the half court, asks for a screen from Alex Thompson. Gets another one from Wyatt Walker as Josh Sharkey thought about a 3 right wing and now turns it over. His pass deflected and picked off by Javon Powell, who drives at Kristen Cunningham. Cunningham denies the layup, but he fouled Powell as he was going up. And Powell will shoot 2 free throws as we have a minor tie-up down underneath the bucket. Referees separate it, get everyone going to their respective benches, and Javon Powell will shoot 2 on the other half of our media timeout that we've hit under 4 minutes. 3:51 says the Pete Hanna Center clock, and Nicholls State leads by 4, 28-24 at the 3:51 mark. Time to send it back to our West Homewood studios. FM 99.1 The Game. Grant Gardner standing by with a look at our Papa John scoreboard. Grant?
The madness begins here. Make sure you're at the U.S. Cellular Center in Asheville, North Carolina, March 2nd through 6th for the 2017 SoCon Basketball Championships presented by General Shale. You don't want to miss the action as your favorite SoCon teams compete for a championship and a berth in the NCAA tournament. Book your travel and tickets by logging on to SoConTravel.com or by contacting the U.S. Cellular Center box office. Madness begins here. Get your tickets today.
with Chattanooga for the top honors in the Southern Conference this year. Watford's now 1-5, but that's a much better team than that record indicates. They have played a schedule so far this year. They've played LSU, Vermont, Kent State, Colorado. 4 of those 5 opponents are inside the top 100 in RPI in the NCAA. They also go to Miami, Florida, and they'll go to TCU as well, not to mention a trip to Georgia Tech before starting conference play against Mercer. So credit head coach Mike Young and the Spartanburg Watford Terriers for playing a schedule. The record's not going to look pretty, but that team is going to be one of the top 5 in the Southern Conference when all is said and done in this 2016-17 season. We've got an extended timeout here at the Hanna Center as referees are over at the video monitor looking at that tangle up we had underneath the bucket. Kristen Cunningham had a hard foul on Javon Powell trying to prevent the breakaway layup. I don't think there was anything there. No malicious intent, certainly. But Cunningham looked to be going straight for the ball. I don't think he got the head or neck area of Javon Powell. Once again, that is the requirement for a flagrant 1 foul. Any contact, incidental or not, to the head or neck area that is deemed excessive on video review by the officials over at the table. They can upgrade that to a flagrant 1 foul. Don't think they will on this one. Referee still giving it a long look over there as they look at our in-house feed that we're broadcasting, thanks to Jonathan McAfoose and his crew on YouTube Live. And still a long look at the video monitors as both teams return to their respective huddles. And after some deliberation from the refereeing crew, they're still going to huddle up and talk about it before letting everyone else know what's going on. Nicholls State having a great shooting night so far. Mentioned in our open that they were going to need a shooting night similar to the one that they had against Bethune-Cookman. Nicholls State shot 50% from the field against Bethune-Cookman to win that game 76-69 so far. Nicholls State 50% from the field, 12 of 24. And they're out to a 4-point lead against the Samford Bulldogs. Just a common foul after video review. And at the line, Javon Powell shooting 2. First free throw up and good for the junior guard from Tallahassee, Florida. The foul on Cunningham is his first, team 5th, so Samford still with 1 more foul to give before getting Nicholls State into the bonus. Nicholls State with no more fouls to give. Samford is shooting free throws every whistle for the remaining 3:51 as Powell sinks 2 of 2. Nicholls State lead back out to 6, 30-24. Their largest lead was 7 points at one point in time. The Dogs led this one by as many as 4, but now find themselves on the wrong end of a 30-24 scoreline. Colonel's pressure defense paying dividends here. Samford not able to get into their half-court offense as that pass was tipped out of bounds. It's Alex Thompson triggering for the Dogs. He gets it to Kristen Cunningham. Starting 5 on the floor for Samford. Cunningham, Chambers, Dyson, Thompson, and Walker. Thompson 15-footer, no good, and Liam Thomas uses that big 7-foot frame to elevate over Wyatt Walker to pull down that rebound for Nicholls State. Starting 5 on the floor for Nicholls State as well. Powell, O'Neal, Bell, Fry, and Liam Thomas. It's Bell at the free throw line. He kicks out to Trey O'Neal, who puts it on the deck, gets it back to Bell. Bell thought about a corner 3, now gets it back to O'Neal, who spots up over Tristan Chambers for 3. That's no good. Going high up and pulling it down off the glass is Demetrius Denzel Dyson. Denzel Dyson brings it up the floor for the Dogs, finds Kristen Cunningham. Dogs getting decent looks here in the half court over the last few minutes, but haven't been able to knock any down. They're 1 for their last 7, 2 for their last 9 as Wyatt Walker gets a post touch. He swings it to Cunningham. Cunningham, 15-footer contested. That's short. Cunningham thought about getting his own rebound, but it got tipped away by Ripchowski. Back the other way comes Trey O'Neal. O'Neal swings it right corner. Bell spots up a 3. No good. Pulled down by Wyatt Walker. Walker gets it to Cunningham. Cunningham wants to push the other way for Samford. He finds Tristan Chambers for a right corner 3. Got it. Tristan Chambers adds his second triple of the night. Dogs back within 3, 30-27 at the 2:20 mark. Tristan Chambers with a pair of 3s after an 0 for 4 night last night. Wyatt Walker almost with an interception right in front of us, the scorer's table. He jumped a long pass to Stevie Repachowski, but as he tipped it back in play, just couldn't keep his foot off the sideline. Nicholls State will retain possession here in the half court. Bell checks out for Nicholls State. Coming back is Jadante Fry. 4 of the 5 starters on the floor for Nicholls State. Stevie Repachowski the lone bench guy in the game for the Colonels. As Nicholls State gets into their motion offense around this Samford zone. Ripakowski thought about a three, now swings it back around the perimeter. That's Trey O'Neal who pump fake, put it on the deck. Before he put it on the deck, he traveled with it. Turnover by Trey O'Neal. That's his first turnover, team's 8th turnover. Dogs up +1 now in that category. Nicholls State with 8 turnovers, Samford with 7. Dogs trailing by 3, just under 2 minutes here left in the first half. As the Dogs guards bring it up against this three-quarter court, full court pressure that Nicholls State has showed for the duration of this first half. Denzel Dyson up top, swings it left side for Kristen Cunningham. Back to Denzel Dyson, who relocated right wing. Cunningham, 10 to shoot, drives to his left, kicks Alec Thompson left wing for 3. Off the back iron, no good. Pulled down by Lafayette Rutledge, who just checked into the ballgame for Nicholls State. Rutledge swings it to Javon Powell, and Nicholls State will now slow it down in their half-court offense. Get some guard-to-guard movement here at the perimeter. Rutledge gets it to Jadante Fry along the baseline, swings it all the way across the floor to Repachowski. And intercepted was Javon Powell's pass back to the baseline. Cunningham coming the other way, feeds Denzel Dyson, count the basket, and one. Good look from Cunningham on the break to Denzel Dyson, who finished through the contact. And he'll go to the line to try to complete the three-point play as we've got a timeout. It's a use it or lose it 30-second timeout called by the Nicholls State bench. It'll be a 30-second timeout. We will keep it right here as the Dogs pick up the bucket on the fast break. Denzel Dyson now leads all scorers for the Dogs with 10. Christian Chambers, Alex Thompson with 6 now. Wyatt Walker 1 of 4 from the field. He's got just 2 points and 2 boards as he has mostly been held in check inside by the 7-footer Liam Thomas and the small forward Jadante Fry. Nicholls State doing a good job keeping the Dogs off the glass in general. They're +5 in that department, 17-12 as we played 19 of our 20 minutes here in the first half. Coming out of the timeout, Denzel Dyson at the line to shoot the extra free throw. Guy who was a 3-star recruit out of Covington, Tennessee, committed to UMass, spent 2 years there. Transferred to Samford last year, sat out the duration of last year per NCAA transfer rules, and is making an immediate impact this season. At the line, free throw short, long rebound, he got his own miss. Jump stop into the lane, left hand finish at the rim. Demetrius Denzel Dyson with his own 4-point play, the unconventional way. Then he gives the Dogs the lead. Under a minute to go. Samford 31, Nicholls State 30. Full court pressure from Samford. Almost turned over. Denzel Dyson jumped the passing lane, just missed it. Nicholls State gets it to Jante Fry. Free throw line, he tried to go high-low with Thomas and turned it over. Fry went up in the air, elevated like he was going to shoot, so Thomas turned his back to try to get position for a potential offensive board. And it turned into another Nicholls State turnover. They've hit double digits in that category now. 10 turnovers for the Colonels as we hit 32 seconds here in the Hannah Center. Shot clock and game clock separated by about 10 to 11 seconds. Samford running their offense in the half court. Alex Thompson, left wing, gets it inside to Wyatt Walker, going against the 7-footer Liam Thomas, kicks it out. Tristan Chambers pumps, puts it on the deck, puts up a left wing tray, got it. Tristan Chambers with his third 3 of the half. Dogs by 4. 10 seconds to go. Bell into the half court for Nicholls State. Javon Powell controls. 5 seconds to go. Powell still hasn't moved. Swings it to Lafayette Rutledge. Deep 3 at the horn. Off. No good. And that is the end of the first half. And it's a strong finish to the half for the Dogs. A 10-0 run over the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go into the locker room. And the Dogs turn what was once a 7-point deficit into a 4-point lead. Samford 34, Nicholls State 30. Time for our Alabama Power halftime show presented by Alabama Power. We'll get a recorded Bulldog conversation from Brad Rodizzi that Grant Gardner talked about, and Grant Gardner will check our Papa John's scoreboard. That's coming up on the Alabama Power halftime show. This is Samford Bulldog basketball. Thanks, Grant, for that Alabama Power halftime show. Back here, Birmingham, Alabama, Pete Hanna Center. Dogs use the strength of a 10-0 run to close out that second half. They lead 34-30 as we get ready for 20 more minutes here at the Pete Hanna Center. It will be Samford basketball to start this second half. Both starting fives back on the floor for their respective squads. And we are set to go. Demetrius Denzel Dyson to trigger right in front of me as he gets it to Tristan Chambers. And 20 more minutes of Samford Bulldog basketball on this Sunday night goes with Chambers and Kristen Cunningham up top. Dogs in anthracite outlined in gray. Nicholls State in white. Wyatt Walker at the rim, no good. Rebound tipped out to Tristan Chambers. His two-pointer from the baseline is no good as well. Pulled down by Jadante Fry for Nicholls State. And it's the Colonels working left to right here in this second half in front of their bench on the Hanna Center floor. Samford shot 48% at the half, actually make it 50% in that first half. 0 for 2 on their first two attempts there. Jadante Fry, turnaround from 16, no good. Pulled down by Demetrius Denzel Dyson. Dogs off and running with Kristen Cunningham. Coming off a screen, feeds Denzel Dyson, who puts it on the deck with his left. Baseline feed, Tristan Chambers for three. Oh yeah! Tristan Chambers, man. 4 of 5 from deep. Dogs lead by 7 points now, 37-30. Chambers has 9, make it 12. Drive from Bell, tried to feed Liam Thomas, threw his hands out of bounds, and it will go back to the Bulldogs. Tristan Chambers 4 of 5 from deep. Demetrius Denzel Dyson 2 of 3. And for the team, Samford is 6 of 9 from beyond the arc, compared to just 2 of 11 for Nicholls State. Big reason why the Dogs find themselves up by 7 just a minute into the second half. Tristan Chambers controls. Gets it to Denzel Dyson, back to Cunningham. Those three work against this three-quarter court pressure of Nicholls State. Thompson steps into a 15-footer, got it. Alex Thompson worked the mid-range game almost to perfection. Yesterday had 17 points. He's got 8 points tonight. Dogs with 5 straight out of the break to up the ante. They're up 39-30 as we've got a whistle and a hold just out in front of the timeline. Kristen Cunningham whistled for the foul. That's his second personal foul, team's first here in the second half. We're just past the 8 o'clock mark here in the Hanna Center. That means over in the Coca-Cola Hospitality Suite up on the big screen, the Samford women's volleyball team is watching the NCAA selection show, about to figure out where they're headed for this coming weekend. Trey O'Neal kicks it right side. Almost turned over, and it was turned over by Javon Powell. Back the other way comes Denzel Dyson. Feeds Tristan Chambers, who thought about a left wing triple. Instead gets it back to Denzel Dyson. His 13-footer is good. Good work from Denzel Dyson, and good work from the Samford offense early on. We are 1 minute and 50 seconds into this second half, and Nicholls State calls timeout. How about the Samford offense on a quick 7-0 run here? Coming out of the break, it draws a Nicholls State timeout. That's a 30-second timeout. And by rule, the first 30 will be extended to a full timeout here at the Hanna Center. We'll take it with him. 18-10 mark. Samford by 11, 41-30. This is Samford Bulldog basketball.
Game day brings out the best in all of us. Regions, every day is game day.
At Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers, we believe in service.
Maintenance service, tire service, repair service,
and most importantly, customer service.
We believe in treating our customers with respect and integrity,
while offering all the services you need for your car.
Most of all, at Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers,
we believe in keeping cars on the road, keeping families safe,
and keeping you coming back whenever the need arises.
With 3:51 to go in the first half, Nicholls State led Samford 30-24. We played the remaining 3:51 of that first half. We played a minute 50 here in the second half. And Samford is going 17-0. It's 41-30 Dogs. At the 18-10 mark here in the second half, Nicholls State called their second timeout. They have 2 left. Samford has 3 as the Dogs pick up in the full court. Nicholls State works against the Dogs' full court pressure. That's DeAndre Harris in front of us, who swings it far court to Liam Thomas. And the Colonels work in the half court set now. Javon Powell, Liam Thomas, Jonathan Bell, DeAndre Harris, and Jadante Fry, the 5 on the floor for Nicholls State. Powell swings it to Bell. Bell left wing 3, got it. Just the 3rd 3 made by Nicholls State. And finally, the run is snapped. Samford had scored 17 unanswered. Nicholls State with the triple. Draws back within 8, 41-33. 17.5 minute mark here in the second half at the Pete Hanna Center. Still the starting 5 on the floor out of the timeout for the Dogs. Cunningham, Chambers, Thompson, Denzel Dyson, and Wyatt Walker as Cunningham directs traffic, sets up the offense. Denzel Dyson dribbles, now swings it to Cunningham. Cunningham working off the left wing, goes back right wing for Denzel Dyson's 3. Oh, yes. Denzel Dyson with his 3rd 3 of the game. He's 3 of 4 from deep. Back quickly come the Colonels the other way. Jonathan Bell with the straight line drive from the left wing. Got it to go off glass. Dogs lead 9, 44-35 as we're under the 17-minute mark. Been a pretty quick pace here for most of the ball game here at the Hanna Center. Dogs in the half court now. Go back to the same motion set that they got the open 3-pointer off against last possession. Cunningham swings it to Alex Thompson. Thompson gets it inside to Wyatt Walker, going against the 7-footer Liam Thomas. Big boy move at the rim. Oh, but he can't get it to go. Got his own rebound inside. Pumps, tries to get it up, and nope, before that he traveled. Walker pretty much just overpowered Liam Thomas to get to the rim. Couldn't finish on the left side of the bucket. Got it back, and before he tried to go back up with it, got called for the travel. We've got a whistle and a foul right in front of us, the midcourt stripe. That is going to go against Tristan Chambers. That's his 2nd personal foul, team 2nd. As DeAndre Harris hears it from a few guys behind us as he inbounds the basketball. Javon Powell now controls in the half court for Nicholls State. Dogs by 9, 16:20 to go here. Fry kicks it out to Bell. Bell on the drive. He bowls over Wyatt Walker, but before that, we've got a whistle, a foul, and it's going to be a hand check against Alex Thompson. That's just Thompson's first. Really no foul trouble to speak of for the Dogs. Kristen Cunningham, Tristan Chambers both have 2. Everybody else with just a smattering of fouls with 1. Running to the wing was Javon Powell. He swings it back. DeAndre Harris, left corner 3. Got it, nothing but net. DeAndre Harris, the leading 3-point shooter on this Nicholls State squad with his first make from downtown. And already 4 minutes into the second half, Nicholls State with as many makes from beyond the arc as they had in the entirety of the first half. Wyatt Walker off the feed from Kristen Cunningham. Got it to go. Good find from Cunningham, who had not yet crossed the timeline. Directed traffic and slung a one-handed cross-court pass that hit Wyatt Walker just underneath the bucket. Long 3 on the way from Harris was no good. Rebounded by Walker. Dogs look to push. Cunningham finds Chambers. Chambers puts it on the floor, spots him a 3. Yes, sir! How about you, Tristan Chambers? 5 of 6 from 3. He's got 15 points. The Dogs' lead for the first time tonight is double digits at 11. Bell controls right corner for Nicholls State. Thought about shooting over Denzel Dyson. Thought better of it. And it's the Colonels in the half court. 12 to shoot for Nicholls State as the Samford defense digs in. DeAndre Harris finds Liam Thomas just off the free throw line. That's Bell working the baseline. His 15-footer over Walker is no good. Pulled down by Denzel Dyson. He gets it to Cunningham. Cunningham drives with his left. Jump stop. Finish over the 7-footer. No good. Tipped out. And finally controlled by Alex Thompson at the free throw line. Denzel Dyson reload. Right 3. Yes, sir! Demetrius Denzel Dyson from the right corner. He's got 4 threes. Dogs up by 14 points. 52-38 as we're under 15 minutes to go. More full court pressure. Almost a turnover as Jadante Fry is trapped just across the timeline. Powell got it now. He swings it to Bell. Bell drives with his right. Kicks it to Fry. His left wing 3 on the way is good. Fry's 3 stops a Samford 8-0 run and draws Nicholls State back within 11, 52-41. As we approach the 14-minute mark, Alex Thompson, transition, steps into a 3. He got it. Alex Thompson with his first make from long range. The 3 is answered by a 3. And Samford's lead back to 14 points, 55-41 at the 14-minute mark. DeAndre Harris dribbles in to the front court for Nicholls State, puts it on the deck with his right. Step back three over Cunningham is no good. Rebounded by Demetrius Denzel Dyson. Cunningham in transition for the Dogs, drives down the lane, he's tripped up and fouled. Cunningham fouled before he could get to the rim. That's likely going to go against Jonathan Bell. Nicholls State's second team foul of the half, and we have a media timeout at the under 16-minute mark. Samford by 14 points, 55-41. This is Samford Bulldog basketball.
Discovering new things is good. For example, you may discover that the best bank in town isn't a bank.
This is Lauren. These are her first roommates, her first car, and her very first health insurance plan, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. Even at her age, she's not taking her health for granted. Her affordable health plan includes a routine annual checkup, apps, and programs that fit her lifestyle. Lauren may be just starting out, but with us, she's already got peace of mind. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. We cover what matters. Find out how we can cover you for the first time.
Back here, Samford Sports Network. We're live on Birmingham's Talk 99.1 The Game, and also our video stream via the Samford Sports Network on YouTube. The Dogs are absolutely scorching from deep here in the Hannah Center. 10 of 13 from three-point range. Pacing them, Tristan Chambers with 5 three-point makes. Demetrius Denzel Dyson with 4 of his own. As those two guys have led the Samford scoring this evening. Denzel Dyson now with 20 points, Chambers with 15, as they have 35 of the Dogs, 55 at the 13:46 mark here in the second half. Referees deliberating once more. They had another look at the video feed during the media timeout. We're looking for some chirping, and now they're going to ask both coaches to meet at the timeline while they sort out that mess. We do have some news to report from the Coca-Cola Hospitality Suite. The Samford Bulldogs volleyball team knows where they're going this weekend. They're going to the Sunflower State, Lawrence, Kansas, to take on the Kansas Jayhawks, who unfortunately are the number 5 overall seed in the NCAA volleyball tournament. The Jayhawks, champions of the Big 12, are hosting their regional as part of the NCAA tournament. And Samford will be a part of the Kansas region. They'll head out here in the next couple of days. Excited for Keeler Chan and his Southern Conference champion women's volleyball team. Back here at the Hannah Center, it appears as though we have a technical foul assessed to Nicholls State. The technical foul is going to go against number 15, DeAndre Harris. Just after that media timeout. A little too much extracurricular activity. Tristan Chambers at the line, shooting the 2 technical free throws for Samford. And he drains them both after the second one gets a kind roll. So the Dogs will take the 2 free points, thank you very much, and retain possession here at the 13:46 mark. Samford up 57-41. As some fresh faces take the floor for the Dogs. Josh Sharkey checks in, Justin Hopkins as well. There in the backcourt along with Tristan Chambers. Demetrius Denzel Dyson playing the 4 technically, and Wyatt Walker, the big man in the middle still. As the Dogs work it around the perimeter, Sharkey, Hopkins, Chambers, left corner, gets it to Denzel Dyson, who works just off the free throw line. 15-footer, good. Demetrius Denzel Dyson is nothing short of hot tonight, guys. He is 9 of 11 from the field. He's got 22 points. As Nicholls State breaks the pressure, gets it up in the front court. That's Javon Powell who controls. He and Lafayette Rutledge, the 2 guards up top for Nicholls State, along with Stevie Repachowski. Repachowski inside to Liam Thomas, who goes high-low. Good find to Jadante Fry. He scores the bucket with the left hand. Count the foul, and he'll shoot one more. Foul against Justin Hopkins. That's his second foul. Team's fourth here in this second half. And going to the line to try to complete the three-point play the old-fashioned way is the 6'4 senior from Thibodaux, Louisiana, Jadante Fry. Good high-low feed from the 7-footer, Liam Thomas. He spent most of his time down on the block tonight. He came up to the free throw line and served Jadante Fry a bounce pass, but Fry can't complete the three-point play. Free throw is no good. Wyatt Walker got the rebound. Deep three from Denzel Dyson. He is feeling it tonight, guys. Oh, my goodness. 5 of 6 from deep is Denzel Dyson. He's got 25 points as Sam Chandler and I here on press row just kind of look at each other and chuckle back the other way. Lafayette Rutledge makes his first three of the night. Draws Nicholls State back within 16 points. Denzel Dyson racing up the floor for the Dogs. Finds Tristan Chambers to Josh Sharkey. Sharkey working the right wing, jab step, and now gets it to Chambers. Swings at Denzel Dyson, left corner, three. Oh, he's short. Rebounded inside by Hopkins, but we've got a whistle on a foul, and it's going to be an over-the-back foul against Justin Hopkins. It's a tough call as Hopkins out-jumped everybody in the middle of the lane, but it looked like a couple of Colonels might have had position over him. That's the third foul on Justin Hopkins, team fifth. Alex Thompson goes to the scorer's table, likely to replace the freshman from J.O. Johnson. Ripkowski lines up a three from the right wing. Oh, that missed everything. That's an air ball out of bounds off Liam Thomas. No, it's off Josh Sharkey. Ooh, tough call that goes against the Dogs. Nicholls State retains possession, and Hopkins will be lifted here in favor of Alex Thompson, starting 5 on the floor now with the exception of Kristen Cunningham, who's still on the bench. Josh Sharkey running the show at the point for the Dogs. High-low feed to Liam Thomas. Count the basket. And one as Alex Thompson gave him a bump from behind. Foul on Thompson is his second personal, team 6. Dogs have no more fouls to give, and Nicholls State is shooting free throws for the remaining 12:06 here in the second half. Cunningham returns. He replaces Tristan Chambers as Liam Thomas goes to the line to shoot the +1. Thomas, quiet night offensively, just 4 points, make it 5 as he completes the three-point play. 5 points and 5 boards in 24 minutes for the 7-footer from Sydney, Australia. As Samford leads by 13. Alex Thompson tries to go high-low with Walker. Walker got it after it was tipped. He's working off the left block, tries to kick it to Sharkey. It's tipped out of bounds by Stevie Repachowski into the Samford bench. It'll be Samford basketball on the other side of a 12-minute media timeout worth the 11:52 mark here at the Hanna Center. Samford by 13 points, 62-49. This is Samford Bulldog basketball.
The madness begins here. Make sure you're at the U.S. Cellular Center in Asheville, North Carolina, March 2nd through 6th for the 2017 SoCon Basketball Championships presented by General Shale. You don't want to miss the action as your favorite SoCon teams compete for a championship and a berth in the NCAA tournament. Book your travel and tickets by logging on to SoConTravel.com or by contacting the U.S. Cellular Center box office. Madness begins here. Get your tickets today.
Back here in Homewood, Alabama, Pete Hanna Center, it's now official. The Samford women's volleyball team has learned their destination and opponent for the first round of the NCAA women's volleyball tournament. Our 2016 Southern Conference Tournament champions are headed to Lawrence, Kansas to face the nation's number 5 overall seed, the KU Jayhawks. For the latest on head coach Keeler Chant and his volleyball team and their NCAA tournament run, simply visit the official online home for your Bulldogs. That is SamfordSports.com. Also check out at SamfordVB on Twitter. Congratulations once again to Samford Volleyball. They will play their opening round game in the NCAA tournament Thursday night, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. That will either be on ESPNU or ESPN3. Fun stuff is every single fall sport here at Samford University has officially made postseason play. Back here, Samford basketball. Josh Sharkey feeds inside. Wyatt Walker tries to bully his way to the rim, and he does so. Right into the body of Liam Thomas, finishes with the right hand. Dogs lead back to 15, 64-49. For Walker, just his 4th point of the night. He's got 4 points and 5 boards. Fast break the other way. Off the inbounds feed. No good is Stevie Repachowski. Offensive board is no good as well, but we've got a late whistle on a foul. As Jadante Fry worked the offensive glass, the foul is going to go against Wyatt Walker. That's his first personal foul. Samford's 7th here in the second half. Nicholls State, for the better part of this second half, has tried to just straight up push it up the floor, trying to beat Samford's full court pressure, getting set up. That's exactly what they did right there. First free throw for Jadante Fry. Rattles around and rolls home. Fry's been the leading scorer for Nicholls State tonight. He's got 18 points on 8 of 12 shooting from the field in the 21 minutes he's been on the floor. Second free throw good as well, as we've got a substitution. Checking in for Josh Sharkey is Tristan Chambers. No, Demetrius Denzel Dyson checks in for Tristan Chambers. So Denzel Dyson heads out. Chambers in. Chambers, Sharkey, Cunningham, Alex Thompson, Wyatt Walker, the 5 on the floor for Samford. As the Dogs work it across the timeline, Sharkey finds Chambers at the top, and now he hands to Kristen Cunningham, and Cunningham directs traffic as he tries to set up the Dogs offensively. Cunningham spins, finds Sharkey, right side of the floor. Sharkey tries to drive the baseline and tries to get it to Alex Thompson, but as he jumped in the air, he must have stepped out of bounds along the baseline. It's a Samford turnover. They're 9th of the night. They're still +3 in that category. Nicholls State has 12 turnovers. As the Dogs are +1 in the points off turnovers category. They've got 16 points off turnovers to just 15 for Nicholls State. Meanwhile, Jadante Fry off the press break hits the straightaway triple. Nicholls State got it back to 10, 64-54. As we work under 11 minutes here. This Nicholls State Colonel team not going away after a 2 for 11 showing from 3. They're 5 of 9 here in the second half as both teams have heated up. Alex Thompson, 10-foot floater is good. Thompson's done a great job working the mid-range, especially around the free throw line. That time he used the floater to evade the shot blocker. Dogs lead back to 12. Liam Thomas swings it far right side for Ripchowski for 3. Knocked it down. Stevie Repachowski has 9 points. They're all triples. In fact, he hasn't attempted a shot tonight that has been inside the arc. He's 3 of 6 from deep. Single digits as the Dogs lead now, 66-57. Sharkey does a good job passing out of the trap. And now he can set up the Dogs' offense. Sharkey puts it on the deck, now puts up an open 3 off the fake pass, no good. Rebounded by Thomas. Nope, he has it ripped away by Wyatt Walker, but it's going to go back to Nicholls State as it rolls out of bounds. Nicholls State ball. They've cut this deficit to 9. Samford is led by as many as 19. Nicholls State's cut it to single digits. That's Lafayette Rutledge who finds Liam Thomas just off the free throw line. Powell, Thomas, Rutledge, Repachowski, and now Jadante Fry from 15. Got it to go. Jadante Fry is having himself a night. 24 points on 10 of 14 shooting from the field. You could argue he's one of the main reasons Nicholls State is in this ball game. It's a 7-point game, 66-59 as we approach the 9-minute mark. Josh Sharkey works off a screen from Alex Thompson. Wyatt Walker at the free throw line, back to Sharkey. Sharkey thought about a 3, finds a cutting Thompson at the rim, no good, but we've got a whistle on a foul. That's going to go against Liam Thomas. Good cut from the left wing from Alex Thompson. He tried to finish up and under on the right side of the bucket. Thomas got a piece of the ball, but also got a piece of Thompson's hand. The foul on Thomas is his first personal foul. It's pretty impressive for Liam Thomas, the 7-footer that's been hanging out in the lane. Has stayed out of foul trouble, just his first, as Thompson makes the first of 2 free throws. Josh Sharkey checks out. Demetrius Denzel Dyson checks in. As the Dogs going with their starting 5 here at the 9:04 mark. Second free throw good as well. Thompson sinks them both. He's got 15 points now on 6 of 10 shooting. It's been a 3-headed monster for the Dogs scoring. 25 from Denzel Dyson, 17 from Chambers, and now 15 from Thompson as they lead Nicholls State by 9, 68-59, under 9 minutes to go here. Adam Ward kicks out Lafayette Rutledge for 3. He got it to go. Nicholls State, now the team hot from 3. We've got a whistle and a foul in the backcourt. Javon Powell picks up the foul. That's his second personal as he impeded the progress of Kristen Cunningham trying to come to the basketball. The foul on Nicholls State is their 4th here in the second half. And the Dogs work against this full court pressure of Nicholls State. Nicholls State only down by 6, 68-62. Denzel Dyson into the front court. Dogs had a temporary 5-on-4 there. Wyatt Walker, right-hand floater, got it to go. Good move from Walker as he went over the left shoulder and elevated over Adam Ward inside. Ward came in, the Houston, Texas native, spelling Liam Thomas inside. Jadante Fry finally missed from that 15-foot mark, but a whistle, and as it goes out of bounds, it's going to stay with Nicholls State. Wyatt Walker, Adam Ward both fighting for it along the baseline. It trickled out of bounds towards the Nicholls State bench. And it'll be the Colonels who retain possession, as Nicholls State has done an outstanding job staying even or ahead of the Dogs on the glass for most of the night. Right now, Nicholls State +3 in that category, 24-21. Long-range 3 from Javon Powell, no good. Another offensive board, Jadante Fry, he's no good. And finally pulled down by Kristen Cunningham. Cunningham wants to push, middle of the floor. He drives down the lane with the right hand, finds a cutting Denzel Dyson. Right hand is up. Oh, it's no good. A whistle and a foul. He'll go to the line for 2. Another heads-up cut from Denzel Dyson. He'll be shooting free throws on the other side of our media timeout. The foul is going to go against Adam Ward. The Texan picks up his first personal foul, Nicholls State's 5th of the half, and we have our under-8 media timeout. Samford 70, Nicholls State 62. This is Samford Bulldog basketball.
Game day brings out the best in all of us. At Regions, every day is game day.
256 CD Fultondale, Birmingham's home for sports talk. 99.1 The Game.
Samford 70, Nicholls State 62 as we get ready for the last 7:51 from the Pete Hanna Center, and the shooting in this second half has been unbelievable both ways. Two teams combined for 64 points in the first half. Between the two teams, we've got 68 here in the second half with 7:51 still to go. Nicholls State shooting 55% from the field, the Dogs 68%. As Nicholls State is 7 of 12 from beyond the arc, the Dogs are 6 of 8. Demetrius Denzel Dyson makes the first of 2 free throws at the line. Good make for him. He was 0 for 3 prior to that attempt. Now make it 1 for 4 from the stripe tonight. In fact, he's missed as much at the free throw line unguarded as he's missed from the rest of the field tonight. He's 10 of 13 from the field. Makes 2 of 2 at the line there. And Demetrius Denzel Dyson leads all scorers in this ballgame with 27 huge points as the Dogs lead 72-62. Nicholls State in the front court now, trying to get this Samford lead back to single digits. Liam Thomas posting up Wyatt Walker at the 15-foot mark. Inside high-low to Bell, no good. Pulled off the rim by Walker. Cunningham back the other way. Man falls down for the Colonels. Cunningham drives, feeds a cutting Denzel Dyson. He pumps, goes up strong with a right hand and finishes off the window. Second time we've seen Demetrius Denzel Dyson use that cut off the left wing. And a nice feed from Kristen Cunningham rewarded the cutter. Denzel Dyson now with 29 points. Almost as impressive, Kristen Cunningham with 9 assists now in this ball game. That's a season high for the Dogs junior point guard. Dogs by 12, single-digit shot clock for Nicholls State here. Javon Powell drives, kicks far side. That's a Lafayette Rutledge three. It's no good, but a whistle and a foul on the perimeter is going to go against Tristan Chambers. And Lafayette Rutledge will go to the line to shoot three. Chambers did a good job to contest the three-point attempt of Rutledge. But as Rutledge came down, he fell into the body of Chambers and is rewarded with 3 free throws. First one, nothing but net for the 6-foot junior from Gaucher, Mississippi. Rutledge has 7 points on the night now. 2 of 4 from the field. Both of those were made triples, and both of those in the second half, as Rutledge sinks the second of 3. The foul on Chambers is his third. He and Justin Hopkins, the only 2 Samford Bulldogs with 3 personal fouls. Dogs have 8 fouls on the half. Nicholls State with just 5, as Lafayette Rutledge has a 3-point play from the free throw line. 3 for 3 from the line. Dogs lead back to single digits. Samford 74, Nicholls State 65, as the Samford guards work to break the pressure of the Nicholls State Colonels. Cunningham running the show. He gets it to Tristan Chambers, right side. Denzel Dyson swings it to Cunningham, left wing. Cunningham drives the paint, kicks to Denzel Dyson, right side 3. Yes, sir! Demetrius Denzel Dyson does not quit. He is 6 of 8 from deep. He's got 32 points. And Samford's lead back to 12, 6:15 and counting. Back the other way, Nicholls State, Liam Thomas just off the 3-point line. Kicks it to Repachowski. Back to Liam Thomas. Thomas looking for a guard to hand to. Now finds Powell, who's got 9 to shoot. Powell splits the double team, kicks out Lafayette Rutledge for 3, knocks it down. Lafayette Rutledge has been a money spot-up shooter for Nicholls State in this second half. He's got 12 points on 3 of 4 shooting from deep, make it 3 of 5 shooting from deep. Back to single digits as Denzel Dyson's 3 is answered with a Nicholls State 3. Samford 77, Nicholls State 68. Denzel Dyson works on the right side of the floor. He gets Wyatt Walker at the free throw line. Back to Denzel Dyson. Kicks out. Kristen Cunningham tries a 3. Oh, it's off the rim. No good. Rebounded by Repachowski. Javon Powell brings it to the front court. Back to Repachowski and back to Javon Powell. He's going to set up something here in the half court. Richie Riley over there on his knees making the play call for Nicholls State. Lafayette Rutledge back to Powell. Powell inside to Bell. Bell tries to get it over Walker. Does so, but it's no good, but it goes right back to Bell, who goes up and in and scores. Denzel Dyson and Wyatt Walker collided on the defensive rebound effort. And the rebound fell right into the hands of Jonathan Bell, who's got 13 points now. Samford with a 7-point advantage as we are under 5 minutes to play here from the Hannah Center. Been an entertaining ball game tonight. Nothing short of outstanding offense, especially in this second half. Cunningham feeds Chambers, who thought about stepping into a 3. Now gets it inside to Alex Thompson, who goes up and under, and before that, we've got a travel. Samford turnover is their 10th of the night. They're in double digits now, still +2. As Samford's turned it over 10 times, Nicholls State turned it over 12 times. Substitution for the Dogs. Josh Sharkey checks in to replace Tristan Chambers at the 4:30 mark. Nicholls State has it at a 3-possession game. They can cut it to 2 possessions with a bucket right here. Bell's ripped from behind by Sharkey. Walker gets it back up to Sharkey. He puts it on the floor one time and gets to the rim. Josh Sharkey's in the score sheet for the first time tonight. And he comes off the bench and makes an immediate impact as he turns over Jonathan Bell and gets the layup at the other end. Dogs lead back to 9. Lafayette Rutledge for 3. It rattles home. Nicholls State has had an answer for just about every bucket the Dogs have had here in the second half. Lead back to 6 as Denzel Dyson's almost turned over in the backcourt. Dogs have 1 second to get it across, and Denzel Dyson hurled a one-handed pass to Thompson at the timeline to prevent the 10-second violation. That's an unheralded play. That was a very important one that saved this Dogs offensive possession. 7 seconds to shoot now. Cunningham working off the Alex Thompson screen, and we've got a whistle and an offensive foul from the referee 40 feet away from the play. Thompson whistled for the moving screen. That's his 3rd personal foul. The screen occurred right in front of the referee on this near side, and it was the referee on the far side that makes the foul call. Samford by 6, 79-73 with 3.5 minutes to play here from the Pete Hanna Center. Now let's kick it back to our 99.1 studios where Grant Gardner has a preview of what's coming up. Grant?
At Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers, we believe in service.
Maintenance service, tire service, repair service,
and most importantly, customer service.
We believe in treating our customers with respect and integrity
while offering all the services you need for your car. Most of all, at Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers,
we believe in keeping cars on the road, keeping families safe,
and keeping you coming back whenever the need arises.
Game day brings out the best in all of us. At Regions, every day is game day.
Good start for the Chiefs, who are 7-3. Taking on the 7-3 Broncos, probably the best NFL game on the slate for the entirety of week number 12 in the NFL. Back here, we've got a dandy in the Pete Hanna Center. Samford 79, Nicholls State 73, as the offenses have both been scorching in the second half. Nicholls State shooting 56% from the field, Samford shooting 69%. Long pass and a lob to the rim. This finished by DeJounte Fry. What a pass from Javon Powell, who was some 40 feet away from the bucket and lobbed it all the way to the rim, and Fry finished it. Dogs lead is just 4, 79-75. Sharkey drives the entirety of the baseline, swings it back out to Kristen Cunningham up top. And Cunningham pauses and sets up the Dogs offense with 15 to shoot. Cunningham works towards the middle of the floor, kicks Denzel Dyson, puts it on the deck, kicks Thompson, right corner three is short, no good. Pulled down by Nicholls State's Jonathan Bell. And now it's Nicholls State in the front court, down by 4. Lafayette Rutledge, Javon Powell gets it inside to Liam Thomas at the free throw line, hits a cutting Bell. Bell scores. No, he missed it. Missed it off the rim, and it's controlled after a fight inside by Wyatt Walker, and we've got a whistle and a foul against Jonathan Bell, who ended up on the floor. He's called for a hold of Wyatt Walker, and that is the 7th team foul against Nicholls State, which is going to send Wyatt Walker to the free throw line. Check that. That's the 6th personal foul on Nicholls State. Our scoreboard here in the Hanna Center already had 6 fouls, but live stats update, that's 6 personal fouls on Nicholls State, so they have no more fouls to give. Next whistle is a 1-and-1 opportunity for Samford. Samford's got 19 fouls. Next whistle on them is 2 free throws for Nicholls State. Kristen Cunningham running the show for Samford. Kicks it out to Josh Sharkey. That pass is tipped out of bounds by Jonathan Bell. So it'll be Samford possession in front of their own bench. 11 to shoot. At the 2:20 mark, Samford up 79-75. Dogs inbound. Kristen Cunningham to trigger. Cunningham slings it all the way to the backcourt. Alex Thompson to retrieve it. 10 to shoot for Samford as the Dogs got to get going. Cunningham gets it back from Thompson, dribbles towards the middle of the floor, kicks it left corner. Josh Sharkey all alone for 3. No good, but it's pulled down by Wyatt Walker, and we've got a whistle and a foul. That is going to be an over-the-back call against Jonathan Bell. Great job by Walker to get position on the weak side. He retrieved the Josh Sharkey air ball and got Bell to go over his back. So that is the 7th team foul. And now Wyatt Walker will be shooting a 1-and-1. Foul against Bell is his 3rd personal. Actually, make that his 2nd personal. Walker at the line, shooting 1-and-1. First free throw, in and out, no good. Pulled down by Jadante Fry. Dogs up 4 as we hit the 2-minute mark here at the Pete Hanna Center. Lafayette Rutledge, Javon Powell, the 2 guards controlling up top. Jadante Fry, left corner, working against Alex Thompson. Elevates over him for 3. No good. Pulled down by Kristen Cunningham. Cunningham back the other way for the Dogs. Wants a screen from Wyatt Walker. Spins around it. Gets into the lane. Kicks to Sharkey. Sharkey now drives. We've got a whistle and an offensive foul against Kristen Cunningham. Cunningham tried to feed Josh Sharkey on the handoff right side. And the referee on the far side ruled that Cunningham impeded the progress of Sharkey's defender and called a moving screen against the Bulldog point guard. That's Cunningham's third foul. Team's 10th, and now Nicholls State has the ball once again, still down by 4. Kick out 3 for Lafayette Rutledge, right side. No good. Tipped up by Thomas and tipped up to the top of the rim, and it is stationary on the back iron. The basketball got stuck on the back iron and did not move. That is going to be a jump ball, and possession arrow is going to have us stay down here with Nicholls State. My goodness. So Nicholls State retains possession after an odd play. Still trailing by 4. It's their baseline inbounds. Lafayette Rutledge and Javon Powell, both the guards on that left side. Full shot clock for the Colonels, who are looking for some quick offense here. Jadante Fry, open 15-footer, knocks it down. And that draws a quick timeout from the Nicholls State bench. Timeout by Nicholls State is a 30-second timeout. They have 1 remaining. Dogs have 3 left in a 2-point ball game now. Samford 79, Nicholls State 77 with 80 ticks left. And how about the night for Jadante Fry? He comes up with a bucket right there. Part of a 7-0 run Nicholls State has used to climb back into this game over the last 2 minutes and 48 seconds. The Dogs have gone scoreless over the last 3 minutes, and Jadante Fry is now 12 of 19 from the field, 2 of 3 from deep. He has 28 points to lead Nicholls State. Lafayette Rutledge has chipped in 15. Jonathan Bell's added 13 points for Nicholls State. On the other side, it's been the three-headed monster of Denzel Dyson, Chambers, and Thompson. Denzel Dyson with 32, Chambers with 17, Thompson with 15. Chambers has been on the bench for most of the last 4 or 5 minutes. He checks back in here for Josh Sharkey as Scott Padgett likely going offense for defense here. Chambers in the game offensively, and next stoppage will get Josh Sharkey back in the ball game on the defensive end. 1:16 and counting as Kristen Cunningham brings it up against the pressure of Nicholls State, and he feeds Tristan Chambers, who picks it up, got whacked in the head, and that's going to be a foul on Lafayette Rutledge. Foul on Rutledge is his first, team's 8th, and that'll send one of the Dogs' best free throw shooters, Tristan Chambers, to the free throw line. Incidental contact there about 5 feet in front of us. Lafayette Rutledge was trying to hack at the basketball. Instead, hacked the head of Tristan Chambers. His first free throw is up and good. Chambers a perfect 3 of 3 from the line tonight. Substitution for Nicholls State. They'll go offense for defense here. Jonathan Bell checks out. Big man Liam Thomas checks back in. Chambers' second free throw up and good as well. Chambers has 19 points now. Dogs lead back to 4. Minute 5 to go here from the Hannah Center. Nicholls State working left to right. Javon Powell off the screen. Pull up 3. Top of the key. No good. Pulled down by Wyatt Walker. Walker finds Kristen Cunningham. Nicholls State picks up full court. Cunningham gets it across the timeline after 7 seconds or so as the clock says 50 seconds. Shot clock says 20. And we've got a whistle at the midcourt stripe and a timeout. Timeout called by Kristen Cunningham. Scott Padgett will get a chance to draw something up for the Dogs in the half court. It'll be a 30-second timeout. Good job by Kristen Cunningham to get the timeout call. New rule in college basketball last year that in live ball situations, only the guys on the floor can ask for a timeout. So it ends up a lot of times with coaches yelling at their players trying to get a timeout. That's exactly what happened right there. Cunningham got the Dogs to the bench, and Scott Padgett drawing something up for his Bulldogs across the way. As the Dogs lead by 4, 81-77. Coming up, we've got our Coca-Cola postgame show. Grant Gardner checking in on all our scores across the country. And we'll get a recap of today's contest, run down the stats, and hear from Samford head coach Scott Padgett. Starting 5 on the floor for the Dogs. 4 of the 5 starters on the floor for Nicholls State. Lafayette Rutledge, the lone bench guy out there. He's been the hot hand for Nicholls State here in this second half. Samford running their offense here. 12 seconds to shoot. Alex Thompson got it at the free throw line. Drives the rim. Right hand finish off the rim. No good, but a whistle and a foul as he drew contact from the 7-footer Liam Thomas. Thomas whistled for the foul. That's his second, team's 9th, and Thompson will go back to the line to shoot 2. Good set from the Dogs out of the timeout. They worked it around the perimeter and got it inside. Got Thompson a touch at the free throw line, and he made an aggressive move toward the rack. First free throw up and good. Offense for defense once again for Nicholls State. Jonathan Bell checks out, checking in. The Michigan native and sharpshooter Stevie Repachowski. Thompson's second free throw, good as well. Good free throw shooting from the Dogs down the stretch. Lead back to 6, 83-77. Nicholls State needs a bucket here on this possession. 31 seconds and counting. Repachowski gets a screen, kicks it to Javon Powell. Deep three over Tristan Chambers, got it to go. 83-80 the scoreline now, 26.6 to go, and a timeout from the Nicholls State bench. That is their final timeout. And my goodness, Nicholls State has come alive from beyond the arc here in this second half. After a 2 for 11 shooting performance from behind the arc in the first half, Nicholls State is 9 of 18 from deep here in half number 2. The Colonels are shooting 49% for the game. The Dogs, 57%. As Samford clings to an 83-80 lead with 26.6 to go. Both teams in the double bonus from here on out. Shot clock turned off. So Nicholls State will pick up in the full court, likely try maybe a trap or two before attempting to foul someone not named Tristan Chambers or Alex Thompson. Both of those guys are perfect from the free throw line tonight. Samford as a team from the free throw line, 11 of 16. As Chambers and Thompson are perfect. Denzel Dyson is 2 of 5 from the stripe. Alex Peters, 1 of 2 from the stripe tonight. Kristen Cunningham has not gone to the line, but he was the Dogs' free throw shooting leader a year ago. He shot 162 free throws, made 134 of them. It's good for an 83% mark from the charity stripe. And it'll be Demetrius Denzel Dyson to trigger for Samford out of the timeout. Full court pressure from Nicholls State as the Dogs inbound from the right baseline. Denzel Dyson runs the baseline, finds Kristen Cunningham. Cunningham tries to get it to Thompson. It's intercepted. Nicholls State with the ball. Lafayette Roach for 3, knocks it down. Tie game, 83 apiece with 20 and a half ticks left here in the Hanna Center. The Colonels' full court pressure pays off, and the Dogs get it to the front court. 14 seconds to go. Cunningham, Denzel Dyson, Tristan Chambers. Back to Cunningham. Works off a screen from Wyatt Walker. Tristan Chambers, 3 from the right side. No good. Rebound by Denzel Dyson. Tipped around. Finally controlled out of bounds, and it is going to go Nicholls State way off the foot of Kristen Cunningham along the left sideline. The Dogs had 3 players inside trying to pick up the offensive board. It was tipped out of the hands of Wyatt Walker and Denzel Dyson. Tipped out to the three-point line and off the foot of Kristen Cunningham, who went diving into the sideline to try to retain possession. Instead, it's Nicholls State inbounds. 75 feet or so away from the bucket. 1.5 to go. Javon Powell gets it inbounds. 1 dribble and a heave, and it's short. And we are headed to overtime. Overtime in the Hanna Center as the Dogs went without a field goal over the last 4 minutes. And Nicholls State down by 6 under a minute to go. Got a 3-point make, a timeout, a steal in the backcourt, and another 3 to send this game to an extra 5 minutes. We'll take a timeout before we start the overtime. This is Samford Bulldog basketball.
Game day brings out the best in all of us. At Regions, every day is game day.
This is Lauren. These are her first roommates, her first car, and her very first health insurance plan, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. Even at her age, she's not taking her health for granted. Her affordable health plan includes a routine annual checkup, apps, and programs that fit her lifestyle. Lauren may be just starting out, but with us, she's already got peace of mind. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. We cover what matters. Find out how we can cover you for the first time.
Back here courtside, Pete Hanna Center in Birmingham, Alabama. Knew we were in for a good one. Did not know how good it was going to be, as referee and I are talking over here at the midcourt stripe. Getting ready for overtime. Samford 83, Nicholls State 83. And we get ready to tip this thing up for another 5 minutes. Liam Thomas, Wyatt Walker, the two big guys in the center circle, ready to vie for possession in the extra period. Whistle sounds, and ball about to be in the air once we get our feet settled here between the two big guys. Ball in the air. It was a terrible toss, and won by Wyatt Walker, who tips it up to Denzel Dyson. And it's the Dogs with the first possession of the overtime as we work here tied at 83 apiece. Denzel Dyson, left wing. Kristen Cunningham, right side, finds Alex Thompson. Turnaround 10-footer, short. Rebound inside by Denzel Dyson. He goes up and finishes off the window. Good effort along the baseline by Demetrius Denzel Dyson. He cleans up the garbage and gets the Dogs on the board first here in the overtime. They lead 85-83, 30 seconds in. Nicholls State on the other end. Jonathan Bell, left wing. Jadante Fry in the corner. He gets the backdoor cut and finishes over Denzel Dyson on the other side of the rim. Jadante Fry has been borderline unstoppable tonight. He's got 30. The only guy who's outscored him is the guy he scored against, Demetrius Denzel Dyson, who's chipped in 34 for Samford. 4-minute mark. Kristen Cunningham directing traffic near the midcourt stripe. Gets it to Tristan Chambers. Chambers dribbles out of what would have been a trap. Denzel Dyson to Kristen Cunningham on the left side of the floor. 5 to shoot for the Dogs. Tristan Chambers, left corner, 3. Got it! Tristan Chambers, his 6th triple of the night, gives the Dogs the 3-point lead. Chambers has 22. Dogs 88, Nicholls State 85, 3:30 to go in the OT. Jonathan Bell, Javon Powell inside to Jadante Fry at the 16-foot mark. Lafayette Rutledge, right corner, 3, nothing but net. Lafayette Rutledge is having an outstanding second half. That is his 6th triple of the night. He's got 21 points, and his only made field goals are on 3s. 88 apiece as we hit the 3-minute mark here. Neither side has come up with a stop so far in the extra frame. Wyatt Walker working off the right block. Turns, spins into the body of the shot blocker. Right hook is no good. Tipped around and controlled in the right corner by Jonathan Bell. Another defensive board for Nicholls State. They are +4 tonight on the boards over Samford, 32-28. Just the second time that the Dogs have been out-rebounded in the 6 games that they've played so far. Jadante Fry pumps Alex Thompson in the air, tries to dunk over Wyatt Walker. He missed the dunk. Walker hits the deck, and we've got a blocking foul called against the Bulldog big man. The foul against Walker is his 2nd, and will send Jadante Fry to the free throw line. Fry, the 6'4" senior from Thibodaux, Louisiana, is 13 of 20 from the field tonight, but he misses the first free throw. He left it short. 88-88. That's just 2nd Nicholls State free throw miss tonight. They're 10 of 12 as a team from the stripe. Fry's 2nd free throw in the air and good. Fry has 31 points now. He's 3 of 5 from the line tonight. Nicholls State with their first lead in the overtime period, 89-88, 2:30 to go. Denzel Dyson and Cunningham bring it up for the Dogs, and now it's Kristen Cunningham who controls left of the center circle. Cunningham feeds Tristan Chambers. He's got Alex Thompson. Thompson, wraparound pass to Wyatt Walker. Thompson relocates, left corner. His shot no good, off the window. We've got a whistle and a foul, and it's going to go against Liam Thomas, who pushed Wyatt Walker out of the lane. The foul against Liam Thomas is his 3rd personal. Team foul number 10 for Nicholls State in this second half and now overtime. Walker will head to the free throw line to shoot 2. Walker 0 of 1 from the free throw line tonight as the Hannah Center crowd goes deathly quiet. First free throw is up and good. Walker's got 9 points now to go along with 9 rebounds in 37 minutes. He's 1 free throw make away and 1 board from his 6th straight double-double to start the year, and he makes the second free throw. Samford regains the lead 90-89 as we have our 7th lead change of the evening. 2 minutes, 6 seconds to go from the Hannah Center. Lafayette Rutledge, deep 3 left wing, no good, but a foul against Tristan Chambers. Referee says Chambers hit Lafayette Rutledge on the arm. The foul against Chambers is his 4th, and Rutledge for the 2nd time tonight will shoot 3 free throws. Rutledge to the stripe. 3 for 3 tonight from the free throw line. First one up and nothing but net. Lafayette Rutledge did not start our ball game tonight. He's played 25 minutes off the bench, has scored 22 points, is 6 of 9 from the field. All of those are 3-point attempts. And right now he's a perfect 5 for 5 from the free throw line with that make on his second free throw right here. Nicholls State regains the lead 91-90. Third free throw from Rutledge on the way. And pure 6 of 6 at the line is Rutledge on the evening. Nicholls State by 2, 92-90. As Samford inbounds, Alex Thompson had to come and get the feed. And the Dogs work it up with Kristen Cunningham and Demetrius Denzel Dyson. Alex Thompson gets it to Kristen Cunningham. And it's Cunningham who controls up top, looking for a screen from Alex Thompson. Cunningham working the offense. Hasn't found anybody yet. 10 seconds to shoot. Tristan Chambers off the screen from Walker. His 3 is up and it's blocked, but a foul called from behind on Jonathan Bell. And it's another 3 free throw shooting foul as Tristan Chambers will head to the line to shoot 3. The foul against Bell is his 3rd, and he couldn't believe it. Chambers' first free throw up and long. No good. First time Chambers has missed at the free throw line tonight. He's got 2 more attempts coming, 2 makes. Would tie this game at 92 apiece. Second free throw off the front of the rim, but it rolls home. Nicholls State lead cut to 1, 92-91. Chambers has 23 points tonight on 6 of 9 shooting. 6 threes, and he sinks the 3rd free throw. Scott Padgett's going to use a timeout here. It's going to be a 30-second timeout. Each bench was equipped with 1 more timeout here in this overtime frame. The Dogs had 2 remaining coming into the overtime frame, so they have 3. That's a 30-second timeout called right there, so now they have 2 timeouts left. Nicholls State has just 1. As Scott Padgett draws up something defensively in the Samford Bulldog huddle. But Lafayette Rutledge and Jadante Fry have been the 2-man tandem for Nicholls State tonight. They've combined for 55 of Nicholls State's 92 and all the points in overtime. Meanwhile, Samford, Tristan Chambers has 24 now after a 2 of 3 effort from the line right there. Demetrius Denzel Dyson with 34. Alex Thompson hasn't scored in the overtime yet, but he's got 17. Wyatt Walker had the other 2 free throws in this overtime frame. He's got 10 points to go along with 9 boards. As Samford is looking for their first stop of the overtime right here with 1:35 to go, tied at 92. Powell feeds Lafayette Rutledge. Rutledge to Bell. Bell back to Rutledge, back to Powell. Powell finds Liam Thomas, high post. He spins, guarded there by Alex Thompson, kicks it back out to Powell. Powell drives left side, kicks far side. Jonathan Bell for 3. It's long, no good. Pulled down by Alex Thompson. And the Dogs get a stop and have a chance to take a lead here with 1:10 to go. Cunningham into the front court and now backs it out. He's going to set up something for the Dogs here in the half court as the Dogs spread the floor offensively. Cunningham gets a screen from Wyatt Walker. Tristan Chambers thought about a straightaway tray. Instead gets it to Denzel Dyson. He's got 10 to shoot. He finds Cunningham right side of the floor. Cunningham thought about a pull-up 15-footer. Instead swings to Denzel Dyson for three. Left side. Got it to go! Demetrius Denzel Dyson with a huge triple. His 7th of the night. Dogs by 3. 45 seconds to go. Javon Powell brings it into the front court for Nicholls State. 18-second difference between shot clock and game clock. 35 ticks and counting. Lafayette Rutledge for three. Long, no good. Rebounded by Demetrius Denzel Dyson. He dribbles it up and finds Kristen Cunningham. Shot clock and game clock identical at 24. And now a foul in the backcourt committed by Javon Powell against Kristen Cunningham. The Dogs come up with consecutive stops and a huge three from Demetrius Denzel Dyson. And now Kristen Cunningham is at the line to try to make this a two-possession ball game. Cunningham's first free throw is short. As we have a substitution both ways, Stevie Repechowski checks in for Jonathan Bell for Nicholls State. Josh Sharkey replaces Tristan Chambers, who has 4 fouls for the Samford Bulldogs. Cunningham's second free throw up and no good. It rattles in and out. Still a three-point game. 21 seconds left. Shot clock turned off. Nicholls State can tie this one with a triple. Javon Powell finds Liam Thomas. Back to Javon Powell. He kicks right corner. Repechowski didn't have a look at it. Powell still dribbling. 10 seconds to shoot, and now a whistle and a timeout. Timeout called for by Javon Powell. He will burn Nicholls State's last timeout here in the overtime with 9.3 to go. Goodness gracious, this has been fun. Samford up by 3, 95-92. Nicholls State will inbound from the sideline about 35 seconds. 35 feet from their rim as both coaches get to drawing on their boards in their respective huddles. Samford's got a substitution. Eric Adams ran to the scorer's table. I think he's about to check in for the Dogs. Colonels are going with the same 5 that they've had on the floors. The referees struggle to get both teams out of the huddles. Padgett with some last-second advice for his guys. We'll see if the Dogs play this out in the half court or if they elect to foul Nicholls State before they can attempt a game-tying 3. Eric Adams couldn't get to the scorer's table in time, so the Dogs are rolling with Cunningham, Thompson, Denzel Dyson, Wyatt Walker, and Josh Sharkey against Repechowski, Powell, Fry, Liam Thomas. And in the far side is Lafayette Rutledge. Powell gets the inbounds, 9 seconds to go. Dribble handoff with Rutledge. Powell can't get it back to Rutledge. Powell puts up a 3 over Cunningham. He got it to go with 2.1. 2.1. Denzel Dyson hurls it up to Sharkey. 1 to go. Denzel Dyson gets it back. A three-quarter court heave is short. And we are headed to double overtime. What a shot from the junior point guard for Nicholls State, Javon Powell, who pumped, double clutched, triple clutched around a jumping Kristen Cunningham and still got his 3 to go to tie this game at 95. We are headed to double overtime on the other side of this timeout. This is Samford Bulldog basketball.
Game day brings out the best in all of us. Regions, every day is game day.
At Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers, we believe in service.
Maintenance service, tire service, repair service,
and most importantly, customer service.
We believe in treating our customers with respect and integrity
while offering all the services you need for your car. Most of all, at Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers,
we believe in keeping cars on the road, keeping families safe,
and keeping you coming back whenever the need arises.
Back here, Pete Hanna Center getting ready for overtime number 2. As both the Dogs and the Nicholls State Colonels score 12 in the first overtime. A huge three by Demetrius Denzel Dyson with 50 seconds left is answered by a big three from Javon Powell to send us to overtime number 2. Got a little foul trouble to check on. Javon Powell, the point guard, has 3. Jonathan Bell has 3. Liam Thomas has 3 for Nicholls State. Kristen Cunningham, Alex Thompson both have 3 for the Dogs. Tristan Chambers is the lone man in this ball game with 4 personal fouls. We jump it up again. This time Nicholls State controls in the backcourt, working left to right as Liam Thomas won the tip. And it's the Colonels to touch the ball first here in overtime number 2. Lafayette Rutledge finds Jadante Fry, free throw line. He kicks to Bell, left corner. Bell thought about a 3, thought better of it. Fry wanted it back at the free throw line. He was posting up Denzel Dyson, but he didn't get it back. Javon Powell, 9 to shoot, working off a screen from Thomas, drives down the lane, bowls over Denzel Dyson. It's an offensive foul. Denzel Dyson took the contact right in the chest. The foul against Powell is his 4th personal foul. Turnover for Nicholls State is their 14th of the night. They're now -1 in that category. 14 turnovers for the Colonels, 13 for the Bulldogs. As Samford comes up with a stop on the first possession of overtime. We've got a small stoppage here as we had to wipe some moisture off the floor underneath the bucket. Referees still getting after the guys underneath the bucket there as they try to get all the condensation away from the restricted area. And now the referee deems it safe and ready for play. Denzel Dyson to trigger against the full court pressure of Nicholls State. Both teams have pressed a majority of the night as Cunningham, Denzel Dyson, and Tristan Chambers working up the floor for Samford. Cunningham gets it across the timeline with Chambers, and now the Dogs have 20 to shoot on their first possession of overtime number 2. Denzel Dyson back to Chambers, top of the key. Chambers gets it to Cunningham. Denzel Dyson's running the baseline. He's in the right corner now. As Wyatt Walker comes and gets a screen for Cunningham. He kicks to Alex Thompson. Thompson thought about a 3. Instead gets it to Denzel Dyson, who puts it on the deck. He turns it over. He was ripped by Javon Powell. Lafayette Rutledge coming back the other way. And good job by Tristan Chambers to stop the basketball and force Nicholls State to set up in the half court. Liam Thomas tries to go high-low with Jadante Fry. He finishes over Denzel Dyson at the rim. Jadante Fry has 33. As Nicholls State takes a 2-point lead, they score the first bucket of overtime number 2. Chambers working for the Bulldogs, finds Wyatt Walker at the high post. He swings it to Kristen Cunningham, left wing. Cunningham spins, now turns back towards the left side of the floor. Thompson feeds Wyatt Walker inside. He attracts a double. Cunningham attacks, looks inside. Denzel Dyson with the finish over the shot blocker, Liam Thomas. The Dogs' leading scorer answers the bucket by the Colonels' leading scorer. Denzel Dyson has 39 on 15 of 18 shooting. This game's tied again at 97. The 12th time tonight we've been tied. Bell puts it on the deck, gets stymied there at the free throw line. Finds Fry, back to Bell in the left corner for 3. No good, tipped around and controlled by Denzel Dyson. He gets it to Cunningham. Cunningham wants to get it up the floor quickly. Now backs it back out. Dogs will reset in the half court with 2:47 to go. Cunningham, Chambers, Denzel Dyson. Dogs running the same motion handoff set that they've been running. Cunningham attacks from the left side. Kicks back to Thompson. Thompson looks inside. Wyatt Walker going one-on-one with Thomas and finishes into it. Strong move from Walker. He's got 12 now, back-to-back buckets by the Dogs. They've turned a 2-point deficit into a 2-point lead. 99-97, 2:20 to go. Jonathan Bell gets a screen from Liam Thomas. He attacks inside to Fry. Fry blocked at the rim by Thompson and controlled by Wyatt Walker. Denzel Dyson picks up his dribble in the backcourt. Dogs have 4 seconds to get it across. Cunningham's got to hustle, and he does get it across in 9 seconds. Dogs avoid the 10-second call on the backcourt. Cunningham sets up the offense. Denzel Dyson looking for Chambers. Got it to him, top of the key. Chambers looking for backdoor. Denzel Dyson swings it back up top to Cunningham. 6 to shoot for the Dogs. Cunningham asks for a screen. Puts it on the deck. 14-footer from the lane. Rims out, no good. Offensive board by Denzel Dyson. A whistle and a foul as he went back up. He's going to the line for 2. Demetrius Denzel Dyson has been a menace on the offensive boards for the Dogs. He's actually been Samford's leading rebounder tonight. That is his 4th offensive board and his 12th of the night. The foul against Jadante Fry is his first personal, one of the few guys who hasn't picked up a foul tonight. First free throw from Denzel Dyson is up and good. The Dogs have hit the century mark now. It's 100 to 97. Denzel Dyson at the line. His second free throw rims in and out, no good. Dyson splits the pair. He's got 40 points now as the Dogs lead by 3. 7 unanswered by the Dogs. Minute 35 to go as they lead Nicholls State. Nicholls State in the front court with 1:30 and change. Repikowski thought about a 3. Now gets it back to Javon Powell. Powell tried to get it inside to Liam Thomas. Wyatt Walker knocked it away, but it's going to be a foul as Walker reached from behind the Nicholls State big man, and will send Thomas to go to the line for 2. The foul on Walker, his 3rd personal foul. Liam Thomas to the free throw line for the 2nd time tonight. He's 1 for 1 from the stripe this evening. First free throw from the 7-footer is good. The Australia native has been quiet on the offensive end. That's just 6 points. He's tacked on 6 rebounds, also 7 assists in the 44 minutes he's played tonight. He makes both free throws right there and draws Nicholls State back within 1. 100 to 99 with 80 ticks left here in overtime number 2. Chambers gets it across the timeline for Samford. And now it's Kristen Cunningham running the show for the Bulldogs. Denzel Dyson can't get it to Tristan Chambers, swings it all the way across to Kristen Cunningham. 8 to shoot for Samford as we approach the 1-minute mark. Alex Thompson swings it. Denzel Dyson, open left corner 3. Short, no good. Rebounded by Stevie Repachowski. Nicholls State down by 1, under a minute to go here. Colonels can take the lead on this possession. Dogs need a stop. Powell and Repachowski the guards. Liam Thomas gives Powell a screen. He swings it left corner to Fry. Fry puts it on the deck. Jump stop. Kicks. Lafayette Rutledge. Open right wing 3. Got it. Nicholls State retakes the lead here in overtime number 2. Nicholls State 102, Samford 100. And we've got a timeout taken by Kristen Cunningham as he gets across the timeline. It's a 30-second timeout. Dogs have 2 remaining. Nicholls State has 1. And for what seems like the umpteenth time in this ballgame, Lafayette Rutledge hits a clutch triple. He's got 27 points off the bench, 7 of 11 from deep. 30-second timeout from Samford. As Scott Padgett draws something up in the Bulldogs huddle. Dogs have shot 55% from the field. Nicholls State 51%. Dogs 14 of 24 from deep. That's 58%. Nicholls State 16 of 36 from 3. They've shot 44%. As you look down the stat sheet, pretty even in a lot of categories. Both teams 14 turnovers. Nicholls State 35-34 in the rebounding category. And a game that has been tied 12 times and featured 12 separate lead changes. The difference so far tonight has been the Nicholls State bench. Lafayette Rutledge has chipped in 27 points for the Colonels, as the bench guys for Nicholls State have outscored the bench guys for Samford 41-7. Dogs with 31.1 to go. Shot clock reads 24, so a 7-second differential there. No chance to go 2 for 1. Samford hoping to at least tie it on this possession, potentially take the lead with their 15th 3 of the night. Cunningham works the offense for the Dogs. He finds Alex Thompson at the free throw line. Thompson kicks it back to Cunningham. Cunningham puts it on the deck. 15-footer from the baseline. Short, no good. Rebounded inside by Fry. Fry gets it to Powell. Dogs have to foul, and Kristen Cunningham finally does so. He fouls Javon Powell. The foul on Cunningham is his 4th. Stops the clock at 12.2 seconds to go. And will send the Nicholls State point guard to the free throw line for a couple. Powell's 2 for 2 from the line tonight. Nicholls State has shot free throws beautifully this evening. They are 16 of 18 from the stripe. make it 17 of 19 as Powell sinks the first one. Powell's got 9 points to go along with a couple of boards and 7 assists as he's played 49 minutes in this ball game. He has not taken a seat, and he sinks both free throws right there before the Dogs can inbound. Scott Padgett calls timeout. 2-possession lead for the Colonels after the made free throws. 104-100. Nicholls State leads with 12.2 to go. Dogs need to rush it into the half court quickly, get a quick bucket, and then a quick steal or a foul to try to stay in touch in this ball game. Been an outstanding effort both ways, regardless of how you look at it. Both teams shooting north of 50% from the field. Excellent free throw shooting from Nicholls State. The Dogs are 16 of 25 tonight from the stripe, 64%. But some outstanding offensive basketball this evening. Can't say enough about the performances from Nicholls State of Lafayette Rutledge and Jadante Fry. On Samford side, Tristan Chambers, Alex Thompson, Demetrius Denzel Dyson's got 40 points to lead all scorers. Been an outstanding effort for the transfer from UMass. 12.2 to go. As Thompson inbounds to Denzel Dyson, Dogs got to go. Denzel Dyson gets it to the front court. 9 seconds to shoot. Denzel Dyson for three. No good. It was off right. Rebounded inside by Nicholls State's Javon Powell. And Wyatt Walker commits the foul. Nicholls State will go back to the free throw line. The foul on Walker is his 4th personal foul. And Javon Powell will go back to the free throw line, a place where he has not missed this evening. Powell's first free throw up and good. The Colonel point guard not had a great shooting night, just 2 of 7 from the field. Every field goal he's taken has been a 3, but he is a perfect 7 of 7 from the line as he sinks both free throws right there. Cunningham back the other way for the Dogs. 5 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Cunningham's 3 is nothing but net. It's good. As Nicholls State inbounds the ball with 0.4 to go, the clock runs out, and that is all from the Hannah Center. It took 10 extra minutes, double overtime, and Nicholls State comes into the Hannah Center on Friday night, takes out Bethune-Cookman, comes back on Sunday night, and takes out the homestanding Dogs in double OT by a final score of 106-103. A heartbreaker for Samford. It went back and forth down the stretch. The Dogs led by as many as 19 in the second half. And Nicholls State got some excellent three-point shooting that helped them storm back in the ballgame and ultimately come away with a 3-point win. That's all from the Hannah Center. Now time to start our Coca-Cola postgame show presented by Coca-Cola, and we'll start it back in the studios of FM 99.1. The game with a scoreboard check from Grant Gardner. That's all coming up, along with a chat with Samford head coach Scott Padgett. This is Samford's Bulldog basketball.